Okay, so for this one we're going to be looking at how to make an underwater environment look like it's underwater. So we'll be using what's called a post-process volume and placing that where we want our water to be. And that's going to simulate the effect of being underwater. It's going to make everything kind of blurry and it'll make it blue. So just like I have over here. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. So the first thing you're going to need is a post-process volume. So these are found in volumes, post-process volume, and you're just going to put that down. And you're going to make it as big as your area that is underwater is going to be. So I'll just kind of do this little test section right here. I'll raise it up. I'll put it in the environment in just a second so you can see where that goes. So we've got some stuff in here. We'll use that for the blur so we can see what it's doing. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to make it blue. So when you click on this, we're going to be over here in the details panel, and we're going to be kind of looking at it. We're going to give it some saturation. So that saturation is going to be blue, and then we're going to give it a tint value of about 2. So now if I come into it, it's blue. And of course you can increase that. Whoops. You can increase that by adjusting our saturation numbers and our tint numbers. So tint is actually applying temperature value, so we have to be a little careful with that. But you can see we have this nice blue color going on, but we don't have any blur going on yet, so we want there to be some blur happening. So I'm going to click back on my cube. I'm going to go focal distance. And by default, the focal distance is 0, which means it's not blurry. But if I increase it to 1, you can see that that makes it really, really blurry. So I can go ahead and increase that value a little bit until we get a value that we like. So 500 puts it outside of the square, so that's probably not going to be good. 100 is also outside of the square. So I'm going to try 10. 10's okay. 15. 20. 20 is pretty perfect. Yeah, so that makes everything look a little bit blurry, and then we're under there. So the last thing you want to do is turn on chromatic aberration, and that's going to give you the effect of the goggles and how they actually start bending the colors at the edges of the goggles. So you can just kind of adjust that value until you find something you like. It's not like a predetermined thing, it's kind of whatever you want. So, for example, to make this look like water, I'm just going to go and put this volume over here in this area that I've got marked out for my water. So I just put it down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and increase that. And then if I hit play, everything will pause. Okay, so then I can go and actually just kind of walk over to where I put the water. And so it's like I just went underwater, and there we go. So now I'm in the post-process effect. I'm underwater. My chromatic aberration's a little bit high for this. You can see it's kind of like blurring the edges way too much. But it does look like I'm underwater, except we don't have any fog down yet. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a fog. So I'm just going to do an exponential height fog and put that in my scene. And then my fog density I can adjust, right? So 0.5 is obviously a bit too much. By default it's 0.02, so I can do 0.05, which will be a little more. Then the fog height fall off, that is where you can actually like make it so that it's only really showing up in your underwater area by adjusting that value. So now I just have this nice fog layer kind of affecting my water, but if I come up here, we don't really see it. We can't really see it up here. It just happens to be down there because I have that fog height fall off right here. By default, it does the whole thing, but if you do like 1, it kind of crushes it down. Yeah, and 2 keeps it crushed down even more than that. And that is it. That's how you make some underwater environments. So the next video we go over swimming and how you make it so your character can swim. And also you can change your fog color, like to be like a darker blue, etc. Just by messing with it in there. Alright, so that's it for this video.